it's different now starting off as it was last year when you came in here?
I think Willie's just brought in, just a winning attitude, I guess you could say, and it sounds simple, but when you see a coach wanting to win that bad, I think everybody just strives to only win, and that's the way it's the only way I do it too. I just hate to lose so much, and winning is just the best thing in the world. So I think everybody in the dressing room is ready to do whatever it takes to win, and it's a big change in attitude from last year.
You were up here with the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks of the season last year. How much, in retrospect, how much good do you think that did you to be up here?
It was good, for myself. A lot of confidence. I played in the league a little bit and got my feet wet in the American Hockey League, and then just as far as meeting the guys, I'm more comfortable around the guys, and you see what we got to build on, and as far as the guys go, it was great to kind of gel together, and now we're ready to go.
Can you talk a little bit about what it's like having Christopher Gilsdorf with you and the experience that he brings, maybe not North American hockey, but just in the pro game in general?
Yeah, well, you look at the year he had last year, and Thorpe just had a tremendous year. He's a great goaltender, an even better guy. It's a lot of fun to practice with him every day and hang around him. He comes over all the time, and he's just a great guy, team guy, but he's an even better goalie, so it's going to push me, and it's going to help the team, and it's just going to give the team 2 goalies who can go in the net and win each night.
I think we have a real good group of guys. I think we have a lot of character on our team. I think the guys are disappointed with their year last year, and they certainly want a better year this year. So I think they're pretty committed to making that happen.
How unique of a situation is this for you? I guess first of all, starting off with kind of the personnel that you're dealing with because of the labor situation at the NHL.
It is different. It's always nice to get players of that caliber down here. I think it helps your practices. They set a real good example for the rest of the guys to follow. So I think when that happens, it's something that you can use to make your other guys better. So it's a good situation for us.
How does it affect you knowing that the last guy who was here only made it through 1 season because the team didn't make the playoffs?
Oh, you don't come in thinking that. I think as a coach, you always come in thinking that things are going to go good, and I really don't. I've never thought that way. So for us, and for me, it's just looking ahead and looking forward to a good year.
Does what's going on with the NHL, the fact that they're not playing, make this an opportunity for this team to maybe garner some extra attention?
I think it does. I think it's intention for the whole league. But for us, like all the players down here want to prove they can play in the NHL. And the only way you can really prove you can play in the NHL is to play against NHL players. And they're given that opportunity. If you look at Oak City with Everly and Hall and Nugent Hopkins, like you can play against not a fourth line in the NHL, but a top 2 line. And that's what you want. You want that opportunity to prove that you can play. And so it's a real good opportunity for us.
Can you explain just how, kind of what you were talking about, how the lineups and the rosters change a little bit in the AHL with what's going on up there?
They change quite a bit, Like we probably got maybe 3 guys who would open up in the NHL, maybe 4 down with our team now, maybe more. So as soon as you have that, it changes your dynamics quite a bit. It changes the power play units. So it's there will be some adjustments for sure for all the teams when the lockout ends. But for now, it's good to have those guys, and we put them in the best we can.
Coach, tell us who's really stood out for you so far in the part of the year here.
I think there's been a lot of good performances. I think our goaltending has been good. Both goaltenders have played well. I think Alexiak and Nemeth both have really stepped up their game, and I was unsure of both of them coming in, but they're both very good players. And then you have guys like Cody Eakin, who I didn't see as much last year. He wasn't with the organization, so he's certainly a good addition. And a lot of the other guys that are coming in that are new guys have certainly added. So there's been a good performance from a lot of players.
Talk about Chiasson a little bit. I know he's been really good.
He's been hot. Like he's kind of deceptive. Like he is a big, strong player. And lots of times when I see him out there, I think he's, it's a defenseman going, and then I see it's Chiasson, and he's just a real big, strong player, and could be a real good power forward.
Talk about the balance that you feel you're going to have to strike between playing veteran players and playing some of the prospects.
Yeah, it's always a tough balance. I think we always play to win, though. I think that's something that if you're a veteran player or you're a young player, you have to know that we're playing to win, and your job has to be good enough to stay in the lineup. That has to be your job, and if you're not good enough to stay in the lineup, then we have to go with somebody else. So the underlying factor is that you have to be good enough to play.
Coach, you had hip replacement. How's it working? Okay, your skating's better than walking, right?
It is a little bit better. Yeah, it's been just about 2 months, so it's starting to come around.
Right or left?
Those are right.
Any idea on a timetable, just from being around it and being in the organization, that we may be without the NHL again?
That's so hard to tell, you know. Like, I think that that's not my level, and I think it's up in the air, and everybody hopes that it gets settled soon. Like, that is the underlying current throughout hockey. You know, the sooner it comes to the end, the better.
How tough is this on people actually in hockey right now? Not have NHL.
I think it's hard. I think it's really hard. I think that, especially for teams down in the southern states where hockey maybe isn't as big, you need it, and you need a presence, and I think when there isn't a presence, it hurts us. So, I think it's just important that we get back and we get going.
Mr. Lockout, do you have any, not advantage, but do you have the benefit of Dallas being closer than, say, San Antonio, which is Florida, or some of that where your affiliation, your organization come watch some of your guys play and stay in the team?
Yeah, Dallas is, it's close, and they get down. They were all down for the last games, and I think that's important because our players know that they're being watched, and what they do counts. So I think that's certainly an incentive for them.
Where would you put the South Division on par with the rest of the divisions in the AHL, and what kind of challenges are you seeing within the South Division?
It's certainly a strong division when you look at the last year with the results, but you never know what's happened with teams over the summer and who's coming back, so you can never be sure until you see them, but on paper they certainly are strong.
Outstanding. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,